All right, so let's use the positioning property to move these blocks around into different positions. Right now, they are in the static position because nothing has been assigned to them in the CSS. And as you can see in our HTML, it just lined up basically in the order that we have it here in the HTML. So basically the blue one will be the container, the purple is the masthead, and inside the in container, which is the yellow one, we have a few other elements, and outside of that is down here we have a bottom section. Okay, so first I want my masthead and my bottom section to be fixed in the viewport, fixed to the viewport to where they stay stationary. So we're going to make those fixed positions. So let's go into our CSS. So under my masthead, so I got position fixed, and we also have to add our top properties and our left property. So we'll make that, we'll start with 0 pixels for now. And left, so 0, let's save that. And it doesn't show up, which means I might have to add another property, which we'll try right. Sometimes CSS does things that don't work sometimes, so let's try that. And there we go. Now I suppose if I wanted to bring this in a little bit, I could probably change the pixels or a percentage. You know, say we can also use percentages. Maybe do like 10%. I should move it 10% away from the, oh, that's top. Let's just do 10 pixels from the top. How about 10% from the left? Okay, so you see it moved a little bit from the top there and about 10% from the right. I'm just going to change that back to 0. Okay. Okay, so I want to see what's going on behind my masthead. So I'm going to actually just move that masthead back behind my containers. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a z index. So under my masthead, I'm going to do a z index, and I'm going to add it a -1 because it goes in numerical order. So this will move it back. So I can do a -1 or -2, doesn't matter. It depends on what ordering layer you want it to be. So say if I wanted this to be behind the in container, I could give the in container a 1. Maybe this is going to be in front. I'd give this maybe a z index 2. So it just goes in numerical order. So let's try that. Okay. Okay, so next, I want my yellow in container box to be the box that where I can move all of the rest of my boxes around on this, in this yellow div area. So my in container. So now I want to make this so it's more, so it's like my parent box. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to make that the relative position. So let's go into my in container, and I'm just go ahead. I went ahead and added the top and the left, and see if this is going to work. So position relative. Let's see if that works. Oh, I probably should give it maybe 20 pixels, maybe 10 from the top. And it did work. Okay. All right, let's move that container over just, oh, we'll say about 10% over a little bit towards the center there. See how that looks. Okay, and now I'm going to move my next item that I want to move over is the right nav, and I want to move it. I want it to be, I want all the boxes to be underneath the navigation, the masthead. So I'm going to move it over here in this area. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of these boxes here now. These will become absolute. That way we can position them all according to our relative box, which is our the yellow, the in container. Okay, so let's go ahead and move the right nav, and we're going to make that absolute. And we need to add a, let's try top, and let's try right, so I want to move it to the right. And hopefully this will work. So we'll try maybe 15 pixels, and we'll try the top. We'll try it, I don't know, about 80. Let's see what that does. Pretty close. We'll probably move it a little bit more over, a little bit more down. Maybe 25. And maybe 120. Okay, let's try 230 by about 80. Okay, so top down to 230 and 80. So basically moving this down to 230 from the top, and right moving it over 80. So that's what that means. Whoops. And yes, and that looks better right there. Okay, so let me try moving my pink calendar area here. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this into my calendar. That way, because I want all of my positions to be absolute in here. 230 is pretty close to what I want. I'll change it to maybe 260. I am going to change this to left now. And see how that looks. That looks pretty good. And let's go ahead and move our right column box. I'll probably end up making it centered though. Once again, let's go ahead and paste. We could probably keep the right, or the, oh, you know what, let's change that to left again. And top, I have to come up with a number here. Let's see. Maybe we'll try 700. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe a little bit more. But that just about does it. Kind of knocked my my footer area down here to the bottom. Let me move that down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and do that now. Absolute. So let's change the top to the bottom. And let's just make that 0 for now. See what that does. And we'll do left 0. So it should, hopefully it'll come down here to the 0 down to the bottom, to the very bottom of the 0. And left, maybe put it over here in our left corner. So if it works, let's see. And it didn't. So let's add a right. We'll make that 0 pixels also. And what that will do with the right and the left being both 0, that should stretch it to the very end so it fits. Yeah, like that. So that works. Okay, I'll just show you here. If you do add pixels to the left and pixels to the right, it will actually shorten it because it's going to bring it in 20 this way and 20 this way. And so you can kind of see it brings it in. So I'm just going to do that. And let's go ahead and make our bottom fixed. And we'll change this position to the fixed. Adds in bottom, I'm going to add the 0 pixels and see if I have to add any more to that. And it looks like it worked. As you can see, it's fixed and it stays with it. Okay. Let me go ahead and change that Z index to, we'll change, I think I changed it, the masthead, I think it -1, so let's change that back to just 1. Let me see if that puts it back in front. Yep, there we go. Okay, and then you can see everything goes behind that. So when you scroll, let's make it a little bit bigger. You can see it when it scrolls, it'll go into the masthead. So I'm able to play around with these numbers a little bit more, and then we'll start adding more elements within our div sections.